participación afecta en alguna cosa?
Good afternoon. Welcome back to this year's, ninth edition of Debate League Tangram Learning Systems. Good afternoon. My name is Sunny Chuk. I'm an academic advisor here at Tangram Learning Systems and also a judge and organizer for this year's Debate League. Okay, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm glad to be back on your screens and lovely to see you again. You may notice that my colleague Chris is not here with me. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it today, so I'm feeling a bit empty inside, but we're going to reveal the 8 finalists and the topics, so I look forward to bringing the energy for that. Okay, but yes, of course, we are here to reveal the 8 finalists and also the topics. Okay, remember, very important for preparation purposes, right? But before we get into that, just hold your horses. Let's just take a step back and reflect on how the classification stage went. Okay, so I sat down with Chris and all the other judges that have participated in the classification rounds, and we decided 3 main things. Okay, so the first one was, it's actually shown in the points, as we'll be revealing shortly, how the teams have improved week on week. Okay, so it's one thing becoming a good debater, right? And that's thanks obviously to the Debate League, right? But it's another thing to improve linguistically. Okay, so that's something we've really seen. Okay, so on the one hand, the structure of your debates. Okay, so obviously in the introduction, we're going to speak about this. This is my team. First argument this, second argument that. Okay, and then we've seen that reflected throughout the debate. Okay, so that's fantastic to see, and good debate skills. Linguistically speaking, vocabulary, advanced structures, you've all taken it on board. And also we've heard a lot more debate-specific structures. Okay, so I've been using that cheat sheet that we provide in the Google Drive folder. Okay, so the second one is also your knowledge on the topic. Okay, so it's fantastic to see that, yes, okay, you're speaking generally about the topic, okay, but to really get those higher end points, you have to speak more specifically about the specific debate statement. Okay, and in weeks 3 and 4, it's noticeable that you've taken on our recommendations and you've been able to get there. Okay, and the final one, mostly we've seen is something that we've always liked to talk about, and it's being grateful for the other team's participation, saying thank you at the end of the debates. And it's fantastic to see despite losing, and we all want to win, it's a competition at the end of the day, it's something that we love to see, and we hope it continues. Okay, so good, that they were the 3 main points that we've looked at as a team. But also I'd like to say thank you. Okay, so we are very grateful for the coaches to start with. Okay, so we're so grateful for your cooperation and communication throughout, because it's been something, it's not easy to take into account 2 different availabilities from 2 different schools with school trips, evaluation and exam periods and things like that. So thank you very much for your cooperation. It's much appreciated. Okay, so also to the schools in general for allowing the team to participate in something that's a great thing to be a part of, right? So good, that would be everything for that. Okay, so let's get straight to it and reveal today's, or the finalists. Okay, so the 8 finalists that will be going through to the final. Of course, on screen now. Here we go. Okay, so congratulations to the 8 finalists. We have Virgen de Mirasierra, Claret, Barcelona, Virgen del Carmen, Villarreal, Sagrado Corazón, Coria, Sagrado Corazones, Miranda de Ebro, Corazón de María, Gijón, and finally, Nuestra Señora del Pilar and Virgen del Carmen. So congratulations to today's 8 teams. Fantastic. Okay, so again, as I mentioned, you've gone through the classification stage. Congratulations to Mirasierra for winning all 4 debates. Okay, that's fantastic. And obviously there's a lot with 3, some 2, some 1. Okay, so fantastically well done to all 8 finalists. Okay, on the other hand, condolences to Cristo Rey, Palacio del Granda, La Milagrosa, Santa Dorotea, and Claret, Domenito, and finally Padre Piquet. Okay, so you've done fantastically well. Yes, as I mentioned before, it's a competition. We want to win, and we sometimes saw that after we revealed the scores in the classification round. There was some disappointment. We like that healthy competition, right? That's good, the competitive edge. However, let's step away from that now. Let's reflect. Okay, so have we improved linguistically? Yes. Have we been able to improve our debate tactics and how we participate in the structure, etc., etc.? Yes. Okay, so these are the types of things that the positive takeaways. Yes, we haven't got through to the final this year, but linguistically speaking, you've improved crazy amount. So congratulations. Okay. But good, the show must go on. Okay, so we have the 8 finalists, and what do we do now? Well, we need to sort out who's facing who in the quarterfinals. So now we're going to go to a digital roulette, okay, which is on screen now. Obviously, you may be used to, or for the teams that have participated in the past, you may be used to us like picking it out the hats, but we've decided to do something a bit more digital, a bit more dynamic. Okay, so on screen now, we wanted to give it a little spin. Okay, literally, we're going to spin the wheel to find out team number 1 in the first quarterfinal, Sagrado Corazón Coria. Okay, so we know team number 1. Let's see who they are facing. Another spin. Nuestra Señora del Pilar, number 2. And well, that's the first quarterfinal. Let's go for the second quarterfinal. Quick spin. Virgen del Carmen Onda. So Virgen del Carmen Onda, number 3. Let's see who they are up against. Spin. Sagrados Corazones Miranda de Ebro, number 4. Okay, let's see the third quarterfinal. Quick spin. Okay, Virgen de Mirasierra. So that's number 5. Okay, let's see who they are up against. Virgen del Carmen Villarreal. So that's number 6. Okay, and well, to assign to assign each team a number, we must finish. Although we do know who the final quarterfinal is. Give it a quick spin. Number 7, we have Claret Barcelona. Okay, which obviously leaves Codema Gijón. There you go. Number 8. Okay, so that concludes the quarterfinals. Okay, so on screen now, we're going to see the matchups. So team number 1 in the first quarterfinal, we have Sagrado Corazón Coria. Number 2, we have Nuestra Señora del Pilar Gran Canaria. Number 3, second quarterfinal now, Virgen del Carmen Onda. Number 4, Sagrados Corazones Miranda de Ebro. Number 5, Virgen de Mirasierra, Madrid. Number 6, Virgen del Carmen Villarreal. And for the last quarterfinal, Claret Barcelona against Codema Gijón. Okay, so here we have the matchups for the quarterfinals. Okay, put it in your diary. 31st of May, and remember, it's a Saturday. Okay, so be sure to book time off in advance. Don't go away anywhere that weekend. Okay, because you're going to be there for the debate, the big final. Okay, 31st of May. Get it in your diaries. Cool. Let's continue. Good. So a few points to consider. All right, so just to let you all know, especially the students and coaches, of course, it's very similar to what we've been doing for the last 4 weeks. Okay, there's a few tweaks which I'm going to explain in just a second. Okay, so starting with the quarterfinals, as you can see, there are four quarterfinals, right? They will be happening simultaneously. All right, there'll be 2 judges in each debate, so 80 points in total, 40 from judge 1, 40 from judge 2, and of course, penalties and boosters can be awarded. All right. There will be a private Zoom link for obviously the coaches and students. And finally, a private YouTube link that you can send specifically to, well, your neighbors, your family members, etc., etc. Okay? Then we have the semi-final and final. So the semi will be happening like this. So first semi-final, second semi-final, and finally the final. Okay? So they will not be done simultaneously, but one by one. Okay, but this time there are 3 judges per debate. Okay, so there's 120 points on offer. Okay, there will be a private Zoom link, of course, the coaches and participants, and finally a public YouTube link. Okay, so essentially anyone from across the world can tune in to see how fantastic you're going to be debating. Important things to note, as I mentioned before, 31st of May. Okay, the times we will be confirming them via email when we finalize them. Okay, on Zoom. So, okay, so the processes, the format, okay, it's not anything new. The idea is to make you as comfortable as possible because we've been doing it the same way for the last 4 weeks or in the last 4 debates, okay? So Zoom, exactly the same as you've been doing up until now. And finally, well, of course, the cool live stream on YouTube. Good. Let's continue. So let's talk about during the debates, okay? So imagine you're ready for your quarterfinal. You've joined the Zoom call, okay? And we know now that all quarterfinals will be happening simultaneously, okay? As always, we do a microphone check, okay? Nice and easy. Something different is the topic selection, okay? So yes, we'll be shortly revealing the 6 topics that we will be asking you to research in advance, okay? But on the day, okay, we will be selecting the topic and selecting the debate statement. Okay, so there are 2 debate statements per topic. Then we go on to the debate statement, okay, pro and con. Okay, the same as what we've been doing up until now. Choose the door, pro, con, etc., etc. Okay, and of course we go back to the debate statement just to make sure that both teams have really understood the assignment, whether they agree or disagree, or if they're pro or con with the statement. Okay, then 10 minutes preparation in the breakout rooms. Come back to the Zoom call. They debate, and finally we reveal the winner. Exactly how we've done up until now. Okay. However, this time, of course, the winners will be sent a link in the chat, or Zoom link in the chat, to go through to the semi-final. And unfortunately, it'll be time to go for the unfortunate losers. All right. But that's it. I just wanted to make sure that it's exactly the same as what we've done until now, but the topic selection and obviously the winner going through to the next Zoom call. All right. Cool. So let's look at the 5 topics. Topic 1, social responsibility and climate change. Topic 2, politics and voters, sorry. Topic 3, European military spending and security budgets. Topic 4, over-tourism and gentrification. Topic 5, tariffs and borders. And topic 6, education in the digital age. Okay, so we will be sending you an email with a bit more information just to point you in the right direction when you're researching the topics. Okay, but well, topic 1, social responsibility and climate change. Okay, you may have heard, or anyone that's visited Germany, okay, they have a system in place where if you bring your plastic bottles or used cartons, etc., you can get some sort of money back to, you know, not talking lots of money, maybe it's 10 cents or something in exchange. Okay, so there's some sort of motivation behind recycling. Okay, is that something that could be implemented here, maybe? Okay. Topic 2, politics and voters. Yes, the legal age to vote is 18, right? But does that, as soon as you're 18, does that mean you're mature enough to vote? Okay. Could there maybe other ways of measuring if someone is eligible to vote or not? Topic 3, European military spending and security budgets. Okay, so nowadays, you know, lots of countries are threatening to, you know, World War III, etc. Do we have to improve our military spending? Do we need to prepare ourselves for a potential war? Okay, so these things, you know, where's the extra spending going to come from? Is it going to come from my pocket and your pocket? Well, that could be another thing to consider. Topic 4, over-tourism and gentrification. Well, many cities in Spain and, well, other countries for that matter, are suffering from over-tourism and gentrification. Okay, this live stream is from Malaga. Okay, the Tangram offices are here in Malaga, and yes, especially in summer months, in fact, all year round, we have suffered some over tourism. Right? It's funny that Agidi is saying this, but it's part of its truth, right? And gentrification, yes, okay, people that have lived in certain neighborhoods for their whole lives, okay, now are being forced to move because of the increase in rental prices, etc., etc. So is this something that we are going to have to get used to? Should we make a stop to it? This is something quite controversial. Topic 5, tariffs and borders. Okay, so when buying and selling across borders, across different countries, some countries are deciding to up their tariffs. Okay, so does that mean that all countries are going to up their tariffs, which then makes everything more expensive? How is that going to work? Okay, and finally, topic 6, education in the digital age. In some comunidades autónomas, okay, they're actually restricting the use of digital resources in class. Okay, but also the law asks students to work on their digital competence. So how does that work out? All right, so that's also something that will definitely come into play, obviously, if topic 6 is chosen. Okay, so that'll be it. I repeat, that's just, you know, a brief explanation, but we will be sending an email with more details. Okay, just some important points to consider for the grand final. team members. Okay, so all team members that are going to be participating in the finals must have already competed in the classification round. Okay, you can't just suddenly get someone in the team just at last minute. Okay, of course they must be the same 4 members participating throughout the finals. Okay, so the quarter, semi, and final. Okay, but you can change the order. For example, if in the quarterfinal I feel very comfortable doing the introduction, okay, because I feel very comfortable about the topic, great. But then in the semi-final, we have a slightly different topic. I think, actually, introduction, probably not my strong point. I can then change roles with my teammate, okay? But it must be the same for competing at all times. Graphic organizers, team must upload their 5, well, in this case, should be 6, okay? Graphic organizers, 1 graphic organizer per topic, all right? By the 26th of May, 2025. Okay, so it's just maybe a week more or less, or 5-6 days before the big day, the 31st of May. All right, so you have quite a long time to get your teeth stuck into the different topics, and well, together with the statements that we're going to be sending you about each topic, that will really help you to push you into the right direction. Debate backgrounds. Okay, we will be sending the cool debate league backgrounds for your Zoom cameras, so be sure to use them as well. And finally, consent forms. Okay, we will be sending and making sure that everyone who is participating in the final has sent their consent form, just so that we have rights to show their faces on YouTube or to the World Wide Web. Okay, at the bottom you have atención al cliente, the email address, you have mine, and you also have Chris's. Okay, so feel free to contact any one of us and we'll be more than happy to help out. All right, cool. Next slide, please. Good. We want to hear from you. Okay, we want to hear about your experiences. Okay, so please feel free to send us a video. We're gonna present them in the grand final. Okay, so we look forward to that. We had some brilliant ones last year, and we're hoping to replicate this year. Okay, 1 video per team, landscape horizontally, of course. From participants, coaches, head teachers, families, whoever would like to comment something, they're always welcome. Okay, 5-minute max, and please send to atencion clientes@treble-educacion.com. Okay, we look forward to hearing from you. And of course, you will all be receiving what I'm not so greatly modeling at the moment, a Debate League 2025 t-shirt. Okay, we had a fantastic photo session for free. We didn't charge. We were nice people that day. And well, here on the left-hand side, you can see our social media platforms and pages. So please feel free to give them a follow. Okay, and also, of course, if you make any posts related to Tangram Learning Systems Debate League this year, we'd be very happy and thankful if you could use the hashtag, okay, which will be shared, it's shared at the bottom there. All right, and well, that concludes today's live draw, Sorteo. Thank you very much for those that have tuned in. Well done to the finalists, of course. Condolences to the teams that haven't quite made it, but we do look forward to seeing you next year. And well, let's get to it. Big final coming up. Thank you very much.